Stories of people being punched in New York City have been circulating on social media and shared on TikTok. And police say they've charged a man now who randomly punched a woman in Chelsea earlier this week. Police say he randomly approached the victim and then punched her in the face while she was walking along West 16th Street. The victim, a TikTok influencer, posted a video about that attack that has gotten millions of views online.
Social media celebrity was shot dead by 3 unidentified gunmen on Tuesday near Delhi. 25-year-old Mohit Moore, a fitness enthusiast, had 500,000 followers.
Mira bien, hijo de tu puta perra madre. A mí me pela la verga el mencho aquí. Me duermo como el pirata o el chanito de Culacán. Yo soy inmortal, yo soy intocable y yo soy un pato con el diablo, cabrón. Así que si no sabes de mí, de existencia...
Oye, este video lo hice para el señor Menso. Para el señor Mencho, pido disculpas, lo que dije no estaba bien, no estaba consciente de lo que estaba diciendo, estaba mal. Me dejé llevar por los seguidores y pido disculpas, se te quiere, a ti, a tu familia. Y Mencho, no me mates, cabrón. Yo tengo familia así como usted.
Quick question, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, right? How badly, right, you think I could like beat your...
Blurring the lines between social media fame and dangerous criminal entanglements, some TikTokers have found themselves in serious trouble for crossing paths with the wrong people. From brazen daylight shootings to mysterious disappearances, these are influencers who tangled with gangs and paid a heavy price. One tragic example is Sabrina Duran Montero, a popular TikToker in Chile who was gunned down in broad daylight after allegedly provoking one of the country's most brutal drug cartels. On October 23, 2023, Duran Montero was offed in southwest Santiago, shot by 2 cartel hitmen after her TikTok activities angered cartel bosses.
Uno de los enmascarados volvió y sin compasión alguna le disparó en reiteradas ocasiones.
But her deadly journey began in May 2022 when a massive operation led by the Chilean Investigative Police, or PDI, resulted in her arrest alongside her brothers for their involvement in a local drug trafficking ring. Besides being a TikTok star, Sabrina was reportedly the head of a drug distribution network that operated in the city of Penaflor. Her organization had been at war with another crime syndicate in Las Praderas, a small town that had become a shadow of its former self, with constant violence leaving residents living in fear. When the police finally arrested Sabrina, she was caught trying to escape out the back window of her hideout. She was charged with several crimes related to drug distribution and given a 3-year sentence, which she served while managing to keep up a strong presence on TikTok under the name Katrina Guzman, a seeming nod to the infamous drug lord El Chapo Guzman. Some followers knew her as La Narco Reina de TikTok, a nickname inspired by her criminal lifestyle, which she flaunted through posts showcasing her jewelry, designer clothes, and high-end lifestyle.
No, exquisito. Que te sintiera muy rico. Muy rico.
Despite being in prison, Sabrina found ways to keep her TikTok presence alive, amassing over 610 followers who were fascinated by her narco queen persona. Her content, however, attracted the attention of her rivals, law enforcement, and even members of her own cartel. The publicity made her a prime target, and she likely knew the dangers that came with it. But on the day she was offed, Sabrina was headed to a nail salon when her car was stopped by 3 gunmen. They pulled her out and shot her 8 times in broad daylight, with a bystander capturing her final moments on video. The Caillers then took her car, drove it a few miles away, and set it on fire. Despite her immediate transport to the hospital, she didn't survive due to the extensive blood loss. No arrests have been made in connection to her, and authorities haven't been able to establish a clear motive, making Sabrina one of many victims claimed by rampant cartel violence that often goes underreported. Another tragic story is that of Mohit Moore, an Indian TikTok star whose fame and connections to gang activity led to his violent death. On May 21, 2019, Moore was scrolling through his phone at a photocopy shop when 2 men burst in, pointed guns at him, and shot him multiple times, leaving his body riddled with bullets.
Social media celebrity was shot dead by 3 unidentified gunmen on Tuesday near Delhi. 25-year-old Mohit Moore, a fitness enthusiast, had 500,000 followers.
His murder was brutal, with police later finding pieces of his teeth scattered at the scene. The 27-year-old gym instructor and TikTok star from Najafgarh, Delhi, had quickly amassed over 500,000 followers, a feat that few influencers achieve, especially in such a short time. but his growing popularity may have contributed to his downfall. In early 2019, Indian authorities temporarily banned TikTok, citing concerns that the app could expose young users to exploitation. Although the ban was lifted shortly afterward, it stirred up resentment among those who felt TikTok influencers were a negative influence on the youth. Moore's bad boy with a good heart image resonated with his audience, but it also came with real-life dangers. He was entangled with a crime boss named Mangu, helping a friend invest about 30 lakh rupees in property through him. Mangu ran a chain of legitimate businesses but was involved in criminal activities and had several enemies, including a drug lord named Dalal. Out of spite, Dalal ordered Mangu's believing this would dismantle his criminal empire. But Dalal was unaware that Mangu wasn't actually the head of the organization. After Mangu's death, a man named Pelwani took over his operations, including properties that Moore and his friend had invested in. When Moore failed to pay Pelwani the remaining money, Pelwani took matters into his own hands, ordering Moore's murder. One of the young men involved in the K-ing was a teenage gang recruit trying to prove himself. Accompanied by another gang member, the teen tracked down Moore and, without hesitation, shot him multiple times, leaving a bloody crime scene for police. While the teenager was later arrested and charged, Pelwani managed to flee Delhi to avoid capture. Next up is this TikTok user who went by Illuminati6. Before his account went private, he was known for taking up wild dares from his followers. On one particular day, someone dared him to insult the infamous Mexican drug lord, El Mencho, and shockingly, he went through with it. In the video, he leaned casually against a light pole wearing a black t-shirt, ripped jeans, and a backpack, throwing out taunts directed at El Mencho.
Mira bien, hijo de tu puta perra madre. A mí me pela la verga el Mencho aquí.
He referenced other social media personalities who had previously been offed for messing with the cartel, saying, "I don't sleep like El Pirata or El Chanito de Culiacan." The kicker was him claiming, "I'm immortal, untouchable. I made a pact with the devil. I came to give you fire, Mencho. I'm not scared. I'll say it right here."
Duermo como el pirata o el chanito de Culiacán. Yo soy inmortal, yo soy intocable y yo soy un pato con el diablo, cabrón. Así que si no sabes de mí, de existencia.
When the video hit Reddit and Twitter, it blew up. People couldn't believe his audacity, showing his face and taunting one of the world's most ruthless cartel leaders on camera. Comments poured in with people predicting he'd disappear or end up dead like RIP in advance, and this is a tutorial on how to disappear. Rumors began circulating that maybe he wasn't based in Mexico, with some suggesting he lived in Richmond, California, making it hard for the cartel to reach him across borders. Then, a twist. Just days later, he posted another video, this time apologizing to El Mencho. Gone was the bravado. Instead, he nervously admitted, "I'm sorry for what I said. I wasn't in my right mind. I didn't realize the consequences. I was just doing it for followers." He even went on to compliment El Mencho and the cartel, begging, "Please don't off me. I have a family just like you. I apologize. We all make mistakes."
Oye, este video lo hice para el señor Menso, para el señor Mencho. Pido disculpas, lo que dije no estaba bien, no estaba consciente de lo que estaba diciendo. Estaba mal. Me dejé llevar por los seguidores y pido disculpas. Se te quiere, a ti y a tu familia. Y Mencho, no me mates, cabrón. Yo tengo familia así como usted.
The contrast between his first video and this apology was so extreme, people wondered if the cartel had gotten a message to him behind the scenes. After that, he vanished from TikTok. No one really knows what happened to him, but people speculated. Did the cartel silence him, or did he finally realize the gravity of what he'd done? Next is Rodolfo Marquez, or Fofo Marquez, a controversial Mexican influencer with millions of followers.
Ya lo andamos cerrando para nosotros. Esto es lo que quiero demostrar, lo que puede hacer el dinero y el poder, o sea, literal.
Born into a wealthy family, he always flaunted his luxury lifestyle on Instagram, posing with fancy cars and partying at exclusive clubs. But IG fame wasn't enough. Fofo wanted to break out on TikTok, and that's where his trouble started. With his huge ego and a sense of being untouchable, he wasn't afraid to stir up controversy. But that cockiness led him straight into the crosshairs of the CJNG, or the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, one of the deadliest cartels in Mexico. On July 7th, 2022, Fofo decided to pull a stunt to show off his power and wealth. He took 3 luxury cars and parked them in the middle of the Matute-Remus Bridge in Guadalajara, completely blocking traffic. As cars backed up, horns blaring, he filmed himself saying, "We closed this down for ourselves. This is what money and power can do. I wanted to shut it down, so I did."
Ya lo andamos cerrando para nosotros. Esto es lo que quiero demostrar, lo que puede hacer el dinero y el poder.
He even thought about doing a TikTok dance in the middle of the bridge. Within hours, his video went viral, and people were furious, calling him out for his reckless behavior. The mayor of Guadalajara even threatened to press charges against him, and TikTok quickly banned his account, removing the video within 48 hours. With his TikTok account gone, Fofo took to other platforms to apologize, calling his actions childish and asking the public to forgive him. The mayor accepted his apology but said he had to do community service, specifically cleaning up under that same bridge he'd blocked. Fofo had no choice but to do it, but just when things seemed to settle down, the CJNG stepped in. Out of nowhere, an anonymous message popped up on social media, supposedly from the cartel. It was written in Spanish, but the rough translation sent chills through Fofo and anyone who read it. The message read, "We are the Jalisco New Generation Cartel." This influencer, Fofo Marquez, dared to obstruct traffic on the Matute-Remus Bridge. "This is an offense we won't allow. If you ever step into Guadalajara again, not you nor your money will save you from us." This wasn't an idle threat. El Mencho, the leader of the CJNG, and his organization are notorious for their intense violence and control over Mexico. They don't take kindly to people challenging their authority. Fofo, despite his wealth, was terrified. No amount of money could protect him from the CJNG if they decided to target him. Knowing the seriousness of the threat, he apologized publicly again and retreated to his family's mansion, hiring armed guards to watch over him 24/7. Despite the security, he knew he wasn't safe. He barely left the house for weeks, staying away from windows, carrying a transceiver to call for help if anything happened. The cartel's message had shaken him to the core, making him painfully aware that he wasn't untouchable after all. After a few months, Fofo cautiously resumed his normal life, but he knew things would never be the same. Crossing a powerful cartel changed his life forever, and he'd always have to look over his shoulder. Now, apart from these deadly encounters, there are other cases where streamers got confronted in risky situations. Not deadly, but still highly dangerous. For instance, when Aiden Ross, Isho Speed, and Prime were all streaming together with NLE Choppa and some of his boys. During the stream, NLE and one of his rapper homies from Memphis, Lil 100, started throwing money around to hype up the vibes. Everyone was getting lit, but then Prime decided to pick up some of the cash off the floor. Lil 100 and Choppa immediately told him to put the money back, letting him know real quick that it wasn't his to take. Prime got defensive, saying he didn't touch anything, but 100 wasn't having it. Things started to heat up because Prime got mad. And even though everyone was laughing, 100 checked him hard. Prime, trying to save face, told 100 he was from the south side of Chicago like that would matter. But 100 made it clear he didn't care where he was from. He wasn't going to let anyone mess with his money.
I'm from Chicago, from the south side. Man, I don't know where you from. I'm from Jordan Downs. I'm play about my money. I don't know what it is. Play about my money, boy.
At this point, Prime was still talking slick, but 100 wasn't backing down. He walked up on Prime and checked him again, so Prime finally sat down and stopped talking, realizing he didn't want any part of what 100 was bringing. After a minute of silence, Prime tried to play it off, saying it was only $40, but 100 made it clear. It wasn't about the amount, it was about the principle.
$40, shorty? Hey, yo, I don't know what it is. It's the principle. I don't play about my money. Enough. Don't even put no my money. Like I said, $40? And I got a pocket full of money.
He told Prime to focus on streaming before someone got to twitching, making it clear he was ready to take it further if needed. Everyone tried to calm things down because they knew 100 wasn't playing.
Chill out. Get your people, bro. Grabbing my money.
Prime eventually decided to leave before things got too heated. Smart move since 100 was willing to take it there. But that wasn't the only time Prime got checked. In August 2023, Aiden Ross had Charleston White on his stream, and fans were loving it. So Aiden invited Charleston to Vegas, with Prime tagging along since he and Aiden are tight. From the start, Charleston and Prime were butting heads, but nothing serious until they went out to eat. That's when things escalated. Prime made a comment calling Charleston Rainbow due to some stuff he'd done in the past, and Charleston wasn't about to let that slide. He asked Prime why he was so worried about what he does with his private life, basically calling him out for jumping into the convo.
Why are you worried about it though? This man just asked me a straight up question. This Come jump in!
Prime got heated and told Charleston he wasn't playing with him, but Charleston fired right back, saying he wasn't playing either. The argument got more intense.
I ain't playing with you! I ain't playing with you then! You!
With Charleston throwing all kinds of insults at Prime for the rainbow comment. Prime tried to warn Charleston to watch how he talked to him, but that only made Charleston stand up and check him even harder, asking Prime what he was going to do about it. It was tense. Prime even asked Aiden to get Charleston away from him because he didn't want to risk getting maced or worse. Charleston made it clear he was ready to leave the stream, but only after letting Prime know he wasn't the one to mess with.
What? And I'm on spraying too. Keep talking. I'm on spraying like you gonna do something.
After the situation, Prime went live on Instagram addressing what happened since people were saying he ruined the stream. Prime said the only reason he didn't throw hands with Charleston was because Charleston had mace on him, implying things could have gone differently. But things took another turn when fans found out Aiden and Prime actually called the cops on Charleston to have him kicked out of their hotel, fearing that Charleston might actually harm Prime. Now, if you thought that was bad, wait until you hear about Neon. This streamer always acts tough online, talking wild until one day he ran into one of the people he had been trolling. Neon had been doing the Naughty Bop drill dance, which is a disrespectful dance mocking a 14-year-old rapper who got offed in New York. People kept warning Neon to chill because he wasn't from the streets and had no business making fun of the dead like that. But Neon didn't listen, and that's when Didi Osama, the brother of the rapper being dissed, saw the clip of Neon doing the dance and decided to confront him. Didi tracked down Neon's location and tried to jump him and his manager, but Neon managed to escape.
Neon!
However, 3 months later, Neon ran into Didi again, and this time Didi made him apologize face-to-face. Neon was scared, and there were security guards around just in case. But Didi let him know he wasn't there to hurt him. He just wanted him to stop disrespecting his dead brother.
Like you not from the streets, baby boy. Like you was really a nerd, baby boy. You was really a nerd, baby boy. I'm trying to tell you, like, look, look at me. Why you not looking at me?
Sorry, my bad. It was back in the day. I didn't realize what I was doing, bro.
Yo, Woo, it's not even, yo. Why you not paying attention?
So I'm nervous,
you know
bro.
how I feel right now? I feel like slapping the shit.
Next, we've got Mayo, an older OG who got into it with a YouTuber named Booba during an interview. Booba thought it would be funny to joke around with Mayo, acting like he could beat him up and take his chain. Mayo wasn't having it from the jump, and he let Booba know that he wasn't in the mood for any nonsense. Still, Booba kicked off the interview by talking reckless, saying his goal was to snatch some chains.
I came over here, like, my objective over here today was to, you know what I'm saying, snatch some chains. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you should try that.
As Booba kept trolling, Mayo's patience wore thinner and thinner. At one point, Mayo even asked Booba if he wanted his moment, basically warning him to chill out before things got real.
You want your moment, right?
Huh?
You want your moment, right?
Wait, what you mean?
You gonna get it.
No,
guarantee you gonna get it.
Not like that. I'm just saying, like,
I guarantee you gonna get it. I swear on everything I love, you gonna get your moment.
Booba, of course, didn't take the hint and kept pushing, asking wild questions and trying to be funny. You could tell Mayo was over it, but things finally snapped when Booba asked Mayo how badly he'd beat him up. That's when Mayo flipped the switch and made it clear that he wasn't playing around.
Look, quick question, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, right? How badly, right, you think I could, like, beat your...
You could even hear Mayo saying, "Didn't I tell you not to play with me?" as he checked Booba. Next up is Sneeko, and he found himself in a tough spot while streaming one day. He was vibing to some New York drill music and ended up dissing a rapper named J-Rip, who had passed away. What Sneeko didn't expect was that this disrespect wouldn't go unnoticed. Fast forward to a jail stream where Aiden Ross had linked up with C Blue, a New York drill rapper. Sneeko was also part of the stream, but the vibe quickly shifted when C Blue noticed Sneeko was the same dude who dissed J-Rip. Without wasting any time, C Blue checked Sneeko for what he said, making it clear that dissing the dead wasn't something he could let slide.
You say you were singing a song for me, you say you're smoking on J-Rip type.
Right after I said that, I apologized.
I bet.
You saw it in the clip.
No, I didn't.
Thankfully, C Blue handled the situation with maturity. He didn't blow up, but he did make Sneeko apologize on the spot. Sneeko definitely got off easy compared to what could have gone down, considering how some folks in the drill scene don't play about stuff like that. But not every streamer gets off that easy. And this next situation proves that point. White Dolomite, a prankster YouTuber, thought it would be a good idea to try and go viral by messing with Boozy while he was out shopping at Walmart. Dolomite thought it'd be funny to act tough and hit Boozy with some racist jokes, thinking it'd get a lot of views. What he didn't expect was for Boozy and his crew to react the way they did.
Boy, I said, hand it to me now. Boy.
Look like that.
Boozy, I'm the real bad. Hand it to me now, boy.
At first, Boozy was just confused, like, is this dude for real? But his crew wasn't feeling it at all. One of Boozy's people ended up smacking Dolomite for crossing the line. And just like that, the prank was over.
Man, I'm gonna beat your nigga in the Wait. Don't talk to him like that.
Instead of owning up to it, Dolomite tried to call the cops on Boozy and his crew, hoping to get them arrested. But Boozy wasn't having it. And you'd think Dolomite would have learned his lesson, but nope, he decided to try the same thing again with T.I. and Trey the Truth. This time, Dolomite thought it'd be funny to pull up on them and hit them with the same racist act.
Here, stop taking these pictures here, boy, in my building. Hey, what are you guys doing here, boy?
Once again, things didn't go the way he planned. Trey thought Truth wasn't about to let it slide and grabbed Dolomite by the neck, letting him know that he needed to cut it out before something serious happened. Trey warned him that these kinds of pranks weren't the way to go viral, and if he kept it up, things could end up a lot worse for him. Safe to say, Dolomite learned the hard way that not everyone finds these types of jokes funny.